Hi everybody, welcome to George Crafts. Today we're going to go through our third week of art journaling prompts, and I want to talk about planning. So it's very easy when we're busy to get quite overwhelmed, and that's kind of what led me to this week's prompt. So I like to do all my planning on one day of the week, and if that goes well, the rest of the week goes well. But if that day goes badly, generally the rest of the week goes badly. So I've had a couple of bad Mondays, therefore a couple of bad weeks. So I wanted to plan out all of the things that I wanted to do in June. So first of all, I use this layout. So I tried to divide my page into four things that I wanted to achieve in my personal life, things I wanted to achieve with Settlers of the Nen Valley, things I want to achieve for the blog, that list got quite long, and just some things that I want to achieve in my own personal crafting. You can choose whatever categories you like, so it might be personal, family, holidays, work, blog, crafting, whatever you want to choose. So choose your categories and try and put things into boxes. So it was kind of useful just so I could get some thoughts out of my head, so just a place to put all my thoughts so I didn't have to keep trying to remember them. But it didn't make me feel any less overwhelmed. So I tried to kind of break it down a little bit, and that is where we come to this page. So in my my previous life as a junior doctor, we did a lot of lists. We loved a list, we loved to tick things off the list, and if the lists went missing it was the end of the world. But you know, lists aren't very art journally, so I tried to think of a new way of doing things. So what I've come up with here is it's still my goals that I want to achieve, but I've separated them into weeks 1 to 4. So this is week 1. And I've taken a stamp which has got a fair bit of detail on it and stamped it out, and instead of a tick in a box, I'm going to colour in a section of my stamp every time I can tick something off my list. So then I'll end up with some beautiful colouring, and I will have got things done as well. So just give myself a nice title, and I've highlighted the first letters with some embossing, some gold embossing powder there. This is a stamp from the Thirsty Brush, one of them Modern Posy stamp sets. And then these are all my aims for the first week in June. So I've got 19 there, not 20, but there are 34 elements to colour here. So some of week 2 will be coloured in. And then I've got weeks 2, week 3 and week 4 as well. So each task has got a number, and each number is a section of a stamp to be coloured in. So this one is from Stamps by Me, and this is from their Shine Bright collection. So that one will be coloured in by the end of the month. So I had a bit of spare space left over, and this is just a collage that I've made with some scraps. These are all from a Tim Holtz ephemera collection. You can pick those up at Hobbycraft and other craft stores and on the internet. But these that I've tried to sort of stick with the central theme of sewing, because I have a big sewing project that I need to do this month. And I'm not the best at sewing, so I need to inspire myself. So that's why we've got the sewing themed collage. So I thought I'd show you how to go about doing some of these things. So we'll start off with a stamp. So I've got another Stamps by Me set here. This is Made with Love, and we're going to use the florals from that stamp. Just pop those to one side, and I think we'll pop it just there. Okay, so I've got permanent ink pad here, so if I choose to colour it in with felt tips, I'm not going to smudge everywhere. So I'm pretty happy that that's all covered with ink. I'm just going to pop the lid back on my ink pad because I'll probably stick my arm in it. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp my image. With a stamp this size I would usually use a stamping platform, but because I'm trying to stamp into a journal, it makes it just a little bit more tricky. So I'm using my big block, so I hope I don't miss any areas. Giving it a really good press. Okay, moment of truth, and I failed spectacularly. So, moment of truth. Not great, could have been better. So I'm not going to tell you how many takes it took me to get that stamped out because it's just embarrassing. But stamp your stamp out into your journal or your piece of paper. And then when I do my lettering, I like to do it with a pencil first and then go over it in pen. So you can do your lettering however you want, really. So we'll do this one for August. Don't know why I picked August, but I have. So I usually just do the first letter as a fancy one, and then the next one as capitals. So if you want to add some heat embossing, I'll show you how to do that. So this is an anti-static bag. It's basically just chalk in a bag. If you rub it over where you want to emboss, you won't get any kind of stray flecks. So this is just an embossing pen. So you can basically put the ink wherever you want to emboss. And then take your excess card, sprinkle your embossing powder just over where you've popped the ink, tap off the excess, move that to one side. Put your excess back in your pot to use again another time. And then heat up your embossing powder with your heat tool. And then if there's anywhere else you want to add in more embossing, you can do that. So I'm going to pop a little bit on there. And then just fill in any gaps that there are. Take your embossing powder and sprinkle it on again. There we go, and then once you're happy, move that to one side. I like to underline things. Now it's up to you if you want to split things up into weeks or if you just want to make a big long list. So something I know I've got coming up in August is a craft fair. So we'll call that number 1. And I know I've got a trip that I need to plan coming up, so and so on. So you write your list of things, give them a number, and then use a pen or a pencil and just go around and add a number to each of the bits of the stamp. So we'll call that 1, that one 2, that one 3, and so on and so on. And then every time you've finished a task from your list, just colour in one of the sections of your stamp, and before you know it, everything will be looking really nice and you'll have achieved loads of stuff. You can colour it in however you want, it doesn't have to be all the same. You can use lots of different things, you can use all the same thing, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. So if you enjoyed this post, let us know in the comments, give us a like, share us with your friends. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and tell us what you want to see in the comments. If you turn on post notifications, that's clicking the bell underneath this video on YouTube, you will get notified whenever we post a new video. If you've got any questions or if you want something to be demonstrated, let us know in the comments or find us on Facebook at George Crafts Blog, all one word, or on Instagram George_crafts, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Okay, until then, take care.